Hi there, I'm Michael Youssef, a franchise owner of Jim's Bookkeeping and Tax here in Blacktown, New South Wales. Now, each and every day, the Jim's Bookkeeping and Tax division has the privilege and honour of working with you, our fellow franchisees, to clean up your books and give you the security and the confidence you need to build successful franchise businesses. The values here at Jim's Bookkeeping and Tax is quite simple, and that's caring, giving, and sharing. And at a time like this, I can't imagine those values being more important than ever before. And so we're here today to demonstrate those values, and we're here today to step up as a division. Because during times like this, we all need to work together as one. We're not different divisions, we're not different territories, we're not different regions. We are one Jim's group. And by working together as one, we will not only survive, but we will thrive. Because our objective is to trade through this. But to do that, we need the creativity and the courage to find the opportunities that are available out there. However, the government is there to support us with the recent stimulus benefits that have been made available. And so my objective is to really break them down for you so you understand what you can get access to and how to get access to them. So just very recently, the government announced the JobKeeper payment. Now, that's not to be confused with the Job Seeker payment. I'd love to meet the person or the team responsible for coming up with these names. So the JobKeeper payment is a government-issued wage subsidy that will be paid to eligible employers for their eligible employees. Now, it will be paid at a rate of $1,500 per fortnight per employee before tax for up to 6 months. The objective is to keep employees connected with their employers because the more people that continue to be employed, the stronger our economic recovery will be. The excellent news is that if you're operating your franchise business as a sole trader, you will be eligible potentially to receive the JobKeeper payment. However, please keep in mind that if you are receiving an income support payment from Centrelink, you must notify Centrelink that you are in receipt of the JobKeeper payment. To register for the JobKeeper as a sole trader, you need to go to the ATO, you need to provide them with your ABN, you need to nominate the individual, provide the TFN of the nominated individual, complete a declaration as to your recent business activity, and continue to provide monthly updates to the ATO. So how do you know if you're eligible? So I'll really focus on if your turnover is under 1 billion. So you need to assess whether you have or will experience a turnover decline of more than 30% relative to a comparable period 1 year ago. Now, what if you've just started off your franchise business? Or what if your turnover last year wasn't what you would consider normal? So the tax commissioner will have the discretion to amend or modify the eligibility criteria for the JobKeeper payment. Your obligations are to provide information to the ATO on your eligible employees. This is if you are operating your franchise structure and you have employees. So, even if you're a company, please keep this in mind. If you are a company, technically the director is still an employee. So we anticipate that the government will be using STP data. So ATO will be using STP data to determine the eligibility of employees. Now, as an employer, you must ensure that each eligible employee receives at least $1,500 per fortnight before tax. You must notify your eligible employees that you as the employer are receiving the JobKeeper payment, and you must continue to provide information to the ATO on a monthly basis. To be an eligible employee, you need to be currently employed by your employer, and that does include those who have been stood down or rehired. You need to have been employed at the 1st of March 2020 in a full-time, part-time, or long-term casual basis. So long-term casuals are employees on a casual basis for 12 months or more. You need to be at least 16 years or older, an Australian citizen, permanent visa holder, and certain other visa holders are accepted, and you can't be receiving a JobKeeper payment from another employer. So once again, to apply, you register via the ATO. So if you go into Google, this is what I did. I went to Google and I typed in ATO JobKeeper. I found the ATO website and expressed my interest. They will keep you up to date. The first payment will automatically be made in May, and you will be required to provide monthly updates to the ATO. They're saying potentially the updates could be in the form of the activity statements that you lodge. However, that means it's still more important than ever to keep your compliance going. So more important than ever, your accountant and bookkeeper are extremely important to you right now because you need to keep your bookkeeping going. You need to keep lodging your activity statements as normal. So recapping on some of the existing stimulus benefits that are available. So if you're operating as a sole trader, you can access the job seeker payment. If you're an employee, so that includes directors of companies, you can also potentially access the job seeker payment with the coronavirus supplement. So to apply, you will do that directly via MyGov and Centrelink. The job seeker payment will be income tested. However, there is a waiver to the asset test. There is going to be reduced wait times. You can receive the job seeker payment from now. However, the coronavirus supplement, which is set at a rate of $550 per fortnight, it won't start being paid until the 27th of April. If you are on the job seeker payment or eligible to receive the job seeker payment and you've been made and you are unemployed, or even if you are a sole trader and you are eligible to receive the job seeker payment, you can potentially access your superannuation. You can access up to $20,000, $10,000 in the current financial year, and you can do that from mid-April, and you can also apply for $10,000 in the next financial year, so from July to September, and that is a tax-free payment. You will apply through MyGov and the ATO. It is very important that you update your information with your superannuation provider, because if you do want to access these benefits, having up-to-date information allows your super provider to pay you out very quickly. If you are receiving a Centrelink benefit, there's a wide range of benefits available, including those on the job seeker payment with the coronavirus supplement. You will start to automatically be paid your $750 one-off stimulus payment. There is a second one-off stimulus payment of $750 being paid from the 13th of July 2020. However, unfortunately, if you're receiving the coronavirus supplement, you won't be eligible for that second payment. If you do want a full list of eligible payments, you need to visit the Services Australia website. It was very long and it'd take up too much space, so I didn't include it here. There have also been bank measures introduced to continue the flow of credit. So, SME loans, so small to medium enterprise working capital loans, things like a 50% government guarantee, changing the bank's liquidity and capital ratios, lending at the RBA rate to banks at 0.25%. So there's been a bunch of measures introduced specifically to encourage our lending and our banking sector to provide small to medium enterprise, so all franchisees potentially with credit for working capital. What's yet to be confirmed, or what I'm yet to find a credible source on, is the moratorium on leases, as well as the increase to the partner income allowance for Centrelink. For those franchisees who are employers, so once again, even if you're a company, a director is still an employee, or any franchise structure where you are employing teams, there are PAYG credits being made available, and that is 100% of the PAYG withholding that you pay. So the tax you pay on salary and wages to your employees, 100% of the tax that you pay on salary and wages to your employees will be refunded back as a credit. So not refunded directly into your hand unless your BAS or your activity statement is in a refundable position. So up to $100,000 if you're a registered employer that withholds tax on salary and wages. It's an automatic credit of up to $50,000 per quarter. If you are a registered employer that doesn't withhold tax on salary and wages, you will receive up to $20,000, and that's an automatic credit of $10,000 per quarter. It will apply to quarter 3 and quarter 4. And a different structure will apply in quarter 1, so you will receive a credit potentially. However, the credit amount will vary in the first quarter. Like I said, it is a refundable credit, and it's automatically going to be applied upon completion and lodgement of your activity statement. So if you find that your activity statement puts you in a refundable position, you will be able to apply for a refund on that. There is also an apprentice wage subsidy. So 50% of the apprentice or trainee wages is going to be subsidized for 9 months. So from the 1st of January through to the 30th of September, it will be paid at a maximum of $21,000 per eligible apprentice. You do need to register. So contact the relevant department. I believe it's the Australian Apprenticeship website. You can go from there and apply your apprentices there. There have been changes to the instant asset write-off. It has been increased to $150,000 to the 30th of June. Please note that from 1 July, it will reduce back to $1,000 for businesses with a turnover of under $10 million. There are also accelerated depreciation deductions available to the 30th of June 2021, where you can claim 50% immediate deduction on assets that you purchase and they're installed ready for use. If your franchisee business is financially distressed, so it doesn't matter which structure for these particular measures. So there are changes to the thresholds at which creditors can issue a statutory demand or bankruptcy proceedings. So $20,000 and 6 months to respond, on which your creditors can issue statutory demands or bankruptcy proceedings. If you operate your franchise business as a company, there is also flexibility in the Corporations Act for trading insolvent, particularly around debt. So no funny business on this side of things. It's only around the debts that you incur in the ordinary course of your business. If your franchise business is in a severely affected region, there is an additional amount of stimulus for regions, sectors, and industries that have been disproportionately affected by the coronavirus. There is also ATO administrative support in the way of deferral of payments by up to 4 months. If you typically receive a credit in your quarterly BAS, you can move to a monthly GST reporting cycle to get access to those credits sooner. You can vary the quarter 3 PAYG amount to nil. And so PAYG once is the installment amount is prepayment of your income tax on profit. If you have paid PAYG installments in quarter 1 and quarter 2, you can ask for a refund. We've been doing a lot of these recently for our clients. You can request remissions of interest and penalties incurred on or after the 23rd of January, and there are low interest payment plans available. These are not automatic, so you will need to either contact the ATO directly or speak with your accountant or potentially your BAS agent to apply for some of these administrative measures. And so there you have it. These are the up-to-date current stimulus measures that have been announced. The situation is ever evolving, and so there are also specific state measures. So there are state measures and federal measures. What I've discussed today are the federal measures. If you want more information on the specific state measures, each of our bookkeepers in their respective states understands the specific state measures, and they do also understand the federal measures that have been made available as well. Some of these, particularly the JobKeeper, has not been passed into law yet. Also, the JobKeeper, the actual specifics as to the application is still not known, and so as more information is made available, we can communicate that to you. Once again, our objective at Jim's Bookkeeping Tax is to clean up your business as fast as possible so that you can get access to these stimulus benefits available and so that you can continue to operate your business. And once this is all behind us, you can continue to thrive. So please reach out. You all know the number 131546. So thank you so very much. Good luck. All the best. Stay safe and look after your loved ones. Goodbye.